Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel Built with the Northcombs. Today in this video, I'm going to be discussing 5 practical things I wish I knew before starting our first event venue. Things that would have saved us stress, mistakes, thousands of dollars if someone was able to explain it to us when we first started. So if you're thinking about opening up an event venue or you already have one and you're still trying to, figure things out, this video is for you. Let's get into it. So number one is your location matters more than your decor. The beginner misconception is that if it's pretty, people will book it. When in reality, people are actually worried about parking, accessibility, and the perception of the neighborhood in which your event space lives. For example, the first thing people do when they call us, a potential client, is they ask about parking. What's the parking situation look like? Is it free parking? Is there enough parking for the guests that I have? As well as ADA compliancy will there be able to be wheelchair accessibility? The main lesson here is that a good location can survive average decor. You don't have to have the best of the best doing all this kind of like crazy decor stuff, but the key here is that great decor can't fix a bad location. So focus on finding a location that people feel comfortable touring at nighttime, that the crime rate is very low. Try to find an area like that is ADA compliant. Make sure there's parking around. Free is better, of course. But yeah, finding a great location is key. Number 2 is that you're not just renting a space, but you're running operations. And so the beginner misconception here is that you unlock the doors and then you start collecting payments. That's not how it works, y'all. So the reality of this business is that you wear a lot of hats. You are the manager, you are the janitor, you are the event coordinator. So you have to manage cleaning schedules, you have to manage the setup and breakdown of events. You might only have 2 hours to flip a room. You manage the vendor coordination between the different vendors that the client is planning to bring in. Make sure it's running seamlessly. You also have to put out fires. There's certain things that pop up day of events, or even within that hour, within 30 minutes of your event, that you have to take care of and make sure that the client's event goes without a hitch and that they're happy and then the expectations are met. Even managing expectations when it comes to the client. They come to you with a certain theme and they're expecting you to execute it. So this business is not just something, like I said, you come in and you open the doors and you collect the money. That's great and everything, but it's a holistic perspective. You are managing all types of operations from start to finish. So the lesson here is that the venue is the product, but the operations are the business. Number 3 is that pricing too low can actually hurt you more than pricing too high. And so the beginner misconception here is that if I price, have very low pricing, then I'll get bookings. The reality is that low pricing often attracts high maintenance clients, last minute bookings, and then those clients end up being rule breakers. And so this often leaves you very overworked and feeling like underpaid because you've been giving so much of yourself to these clients for kind of little reward. So specifically for our businesses, we have created 4 different packages, 4 different tiers of pricing. And so something we have noticed in our businesses is that the clients that end up choosing our lowest package, which is fine, perfectly fine, they end up choosing our lowest package, they tend to be more high maintenance. They tend to be calling 1,000 times. They tend to just kind of be all over the place. Whereas our higher end clients that choose our higher packages, they tend to be more hands off. They kind of trust us more. They kind of show up just the day of and just ready to have their event. So that's something to keep in mind. Definitely less hassle when they're paying more. When they're paying less, a lot more hassle, a lot more fires to put out, a lot more communication, the back and forth, because they're probably bringing a lot of vendors. So it's a lot more involvement. And sometimes it can feel like, is this worth it? Do I want to do this again? But that's something to keep in mind. So number 4 is packages sell better than hourly rates. And so the beginner misconception here is that hourly pricing is simpler. So the reality of just having hourly rates as opposed to packages is that hourly rates can cause confusion, nickel and diming. What we've seen is that people call us. So we do have hourly rates from Monday to Thursday during kind of like our slower days. And so we find that people will be like, I only need only an hour, 2 hours, when in reality, if you're having an event, you need at least 4 hours from what we've seen. And so we just get rid of that for the weekends. We just do packages. It's like expectations as well as increases our average booking, and then it makes decisions easier for the client. And what I mean by that is that we have set times for the weekends, whether it be a 5-hour rental, 6-hour rental, 8-hour rental, depending on which package you select from us. And so it just takes the guessing out of the guessing work out for the client to be like, oh, like I only need 2 hours, 3 hours, what time? We do that for you. We figure it out on our end what works for us, as well as what we've seen works for the client. So we have morning time slots, afternoon time slots, and evening time slots. And this packages, each package, like I said, we have 4 of them. Each scale has different things that's included in them, and that's what we found has worked for us. The lesson here is that clarity closes deals. When you give your client less options, the better we have found this to be. So like I said, clarity closes deals. And number 5, you need systems before you feel ready. The beginner misconception is that you say to yourself, I'll create systems later on, when that's far from the truth. So the systems you'll need to have in place prior to you even opening up your event space is some type of CRM system that will help you book your clients, send payments and invoices, send templates, as well as creating, contracts that you'll give to your client to make sure that you all on the same page legally to protect yourself as well as the client. Creating payment schedules, creating, event timelines, as well as cleaning schedules. All these things need to be in place prior to you opening. Don't start once you've opened. All these things should be secured prior to opening. For my husband and I, before we even got our first event space, we spent about 3 months just getting all these things together. We use Honeybook as our CRM. I'll drop our referral code in the description box if you want a discount to join that. Honeybook is excellent. But we set that all up prior to us even finding our first event space because we want to have some systems in place. So once we got our event space, we can hit the road running. So it's important that you work on, like I said, creating different systems, whether it be creating your contracts for your clients that you send out to them, creating some templates, whether it be different packages you want to create, as well as like cleaning checklists or vendor lists, whatever floats your boat. Work on those systems because it's very important. So I hope you enjoyed watching the 5 things I wish I knew before starting our first event venue. And if you did, please like and subscribe to our channel. We'll have so many more videos about what it's like to own an event venue, 2 event venues, different business strategies that transcend past event spaces. They can be applied to other different types of business industries. But thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.